Welcome back to the Basketball Operations Podcast, where we have finally hit our first 100 views on a video.
I was telling Nathan, hey, what color Tesla should we get?
I told him white because it'll pop up more. But like, it's so. I think it was last night where I was like, we were at 70.
Yeah.
And it was like, what was it, like mid-afternoon? And I was like
60, 70.
Yeah, and I was telling my mom, my sister, I'm like, I have a feeling we're gonna hit 100 either tonight or like tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
I checked this morning, it's like 8 o'clock. Or I checked at 11 p.m. last night, and it was still at 70 something, like growing little by little.
Mm-hmm.
And then I checked early this morning because I had a class at 8 a.m. And I checked, it's like 100, like exactly at 100. I'm like, either y'all don't sleep, or like y'all like either they don't sleep or they just saved it for watch later. So I don't know.
Someone's view body nice.
Yeah. So I don't know.
I mean, it's crazy to think.
It's crazy, yeah.
Because we were only getting like 20 to 30.
Some.
20 to 30.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Bulls one had like 50, 60. That one kind of took off. And then I guess people like the Pistons.
Yeah, y'all are bandwagon Pistons fans now. Forget cutting up.
The Cavs didn't do much.
No.
Just like real life.
Yeah. I mean, we don't blame you. I thought the Cavs would do better than the Pacers because, like, they have Evan Mobley, but it's the Cavs. It's kind of boring. Yeah. But once again, we'd like to thank you for everybody that watched, and it's still growing by like now. Like we got I think like 5 or 6 more.
Definitely grateful for that.
Yeah, grateful. It'll really help us. Like I really do appreciate it.
It's like motivation, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Like this really makes you want to keep doing it.
Yeah, but yeah, especially this because this is exactly what we both thought going into this podcast when we first started, which is exactly what will get us the views because this allows us to give our input. These GM overviews to give us our input as to like how exactly we would run this team, in all different sorts of ways. So like the fact that our best video so far has been an overview, like it means a lot to us considering that you guys care about what we think, and also that we will continue to do this. And like that's just the beginning. That's just our first overview. We still have like 5 other divisions, 6 other divisions.
After this, it'll be 20. We have 20 more teams.
Yeah, 20 more teams, and like. If the Pistons did that well, I mean, just think about Lakers,
the
Nets,
media darling Lakers,
media darlings, all those guys. Like this overview, we're going to cover the Southeast Division. I think every single one.
All exciting.
It will be really exciting because
you got the Heat,
the Hornets, the Wizards, Orlando, and the Hawks.
Yeah,
so all those 5 teams are. Me and Maz were talking about it a couple minutes before that we're both having a hard time with certain teams because they just have so much either like really talented guys and it's just
a lot of talented pieces.
Yeah, it's just hard to understand the rotations, like who backs up who's better than who. And then also they're kind of either bottom heavy or top heavy. Mm-hmm. So it's like, are you going to let some of these go trade deadline? Are you, before the season even starts, are you going to let somebody go? So we'll see what happens. But again, I'd like to thank you for breaking our first 100. Please subscribe though. It'll mean a lot because I was looking at them like, why do we only have 37 subs?
Help us get to 50.
Yeah, 50 subs. If we get to 50
by the
subs.
End of September.
Yeah, by the end of September we get to 50 subs. It'll really help us. It'll just keep motivating us because once the season starts, it's gonna be a lot. There're gonna be a lot of headlines and everything. So we're just gonna keep going, keep rocking. So yeah, again, thank you, and let's get into the Southeast Division GM overview.
We're going with first.
We're going with the Atlanta Hawks first. Okay.
Surprising team last year.
Very surprising. I'm still surprised to this day looking at this team. How far they made it, because
no one outside Atlanta thought they were going to the Eastern Conference Finals.
No, I mean I thought the Knicks, when they played the Knicks the first round, it was going to be really close, like 6-7, and it could go either way.
Yeah, and then.
But I was not.
Trae Young put a stop to that.
Yeah, he owned New York, and that was one of the best first round series.
Yeah. That
we had this past playoffs. Or that first round series that I can remember, just storylines. Even though it didn't go 7, it still had a gritty.
Just like the animosity between the Trey and then like Madison Square Garden crowd.
The entire city of New York.
Yeah. He was literally a villain.
Yeah, and like I always love those villain arcs because it's just like you're just so good that you have an entire city just completely hate you, and so now for the rest of his career, when he steps on MSG, it's going to be booze and everything. He's going to get spit on again, probably.
Again.
and it's just total. So this has created a new rivalry in the NBA because now you have like
they got a Christmas game, right?
Yeah, they got a Christmas game. Yeah. So like that brings in more views, and this is what you want. This helps the NBA and helps like fans come into the building in the first place.
Yep.
So, I mean, I love it. It's just it's another rivalry that has been added. Like, there's like Lakers Clippers, there's Lakers Nets, there's Hawks Knicks, there's like Dallas Clippers.
Yeah.
I'd say, let me see, what other ones are? What other really good ones? I'd say Bucks Suns maybe turn into something.
Yeah. Bucks Nets.
Bucks Nets is gonna be a good one. So yeah, this past postseason has created like good rivalries where regular season games like you're gonna want to watch it just because like they're both playing.
One thing I want to add about the Hawks, we talk about the rivalries, but this team's still young.
Yeah,
and
really
they made the Eastern Conference Finals. So getting another year of growth and development,
it's scary.
And they brought their guys back too. John Collins.
Yeah, so as you can see here in this depth chart, Trae Young, obviously you're gonna stay. He got offered the max. He signed it. Bogdanovic, I think, still has
a year. He signed a big deal last year.
Oh, he signed the extension last year. DeAndre Hunter is still on his rookie deal. John Collins just got extended 3 weeks ago, a month ago, somewhere. Close to the max, which is good because then they have enough money to sign important people like Kevin Huerter and Reddish.
Just signed Capella the other day.
They just signed Capella yesterday to a 2-year...
It was like 40-something.
Yeah, pretty cheap deal for what he put up. Like he led the league in 2020s, right? Last year? I'm pretty sure. 2020 games?
Yeah.
So... And like 5 block, that's a very economical deal for Clint Capella. And then, like we said, with John Collins taking a little less than the max, it opened up for Kevin Huerter to get his contract, talk for his contract extension today, which we'll see how much that is, because Cam Reddish.
Yeah, Cam Reddish kind of like the odd man out here.
Yeah, so...
And he showed flashes in the playoffs.
Yeah, so we'll see.
Being like a two-way guy,
so we'll see how it works. But let's assume that Cam stays or they find a well enough deal to fit really like 7 guys. Because these past 7 guys, Trey, Bogdan, DeAndre, John, Clint, Kevin, and Cam literally have all been signed either this offseason. Yeah, basically this offseason. So, like, it's a lot of money to go around. And
Gallo's still on a huge deal.
Yeah. Lou Williams, I think, is still on, like...
This is last year.
His last year on it.
You get Onyeka, if he becomes something, you're going to have to sign him.
Yeah, so, I mean, for this team... Cap space haunts them, but talent-wise, like obviously we saw the potential. I think again, it just came down to youth at the end of the day against the Bucks because I mean they had a chance. They went to 6, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean you were 1 game away from being a 50-50.
And they beat the Sixers.
They beat the Sixers. They made Ben Simmons not want to play in Philadelphia anymore.
They sent him to the West Coast.
I saw a meme that's like, I want to play for a California team. He's gonna eat that baby one, that baby one where like comes out, it's like, where am I?
Sacramento.
He's gonna end up going to freaking Sacramento. But we'll get to Sixers later because there's like a bunch of Ben Simmons talk going on like today and yesterday. But so yeah, I mean, I think you run the same. I think everything works the same, especially since it's the same exact team as last year. You're just adding Sharif Cooper, and Jalen Johnson is supposed to be under Gallinari.
And Mavs legend DeLon Wright.
And yeah, Mavs legend DeLon Wright. So, you know me, I love me some DeLon Wright. But we'll see.
He led me astray.
We'll see how it works, because I think Sharif Cooper definitely deserves minutes. It's just that we'll see whether.
I think he's gonna be behind Lou Will and DeLon.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's gonna be like, he'll be like the third guy off the bench.
Because the thing is also with this team, is that they have no defense in the backcourt.
Yeah.
Like, Trey's too small. Sharif is literally a carbon copy. DeLon Wright,
he's like their best backcourt defender.
Yeah. Lou Williams too small. Kevin Huerter got like.
They're top heavy at the wing.
Yeah. Yeah. Defensively. And then Bogdan, like, he can defend, but it's just it's average. Yeah. So, are you gonna ask DeAndre Hunter to guard 5 guys at a time? Exactly. Like, it's just not. It's the guard, but I think they make it up for the offense anyway. And just funneling things through to Clint and John, because they're both high flyers. So, I think they stay the same. Who's the coach now?
Nate McMillan.
Nate McMillan, right? So I think he's gonna have the same play style.
It's a full season of him now.
Yeah.
Remember, he got hired halfway through the year.
Which is what we said a couple episodes ago. We're like, they only had Nate McMillan for half a season, and they got to the Eastern Conference Finals. So who knows what they do with the full season?
Yeah, they're doing pretty bad early on. So
horrible.
Full season.
Yeah.
I mean, definitely potential to finish higher than they did last year.
So, I mean, the minutes are probably going to stay the same for the starting 5, because I do like the starting 5. The starting 5 has shooting at the point guard, playmaking at the point guard, more shooting at the 2, defense and shooting at the 3, because DeAndre Hunter, I don't know if people know this, but he's like, he's the Mikal Bridges of this team.
Yeah.
And like he's bigger and can defend, has a better chance against like Kawhi or Paul George, because they're practically the same size. John Collins.
The only thing I'm worried about DeAndre is the knee injury.
Yeah.
So I was like, is his lateral quickness still going to be there? That's the only thing that worries me.
John.
Oh, he's an alright defender.
He's an alright defender.
Offensively, catching lobs, shooting the ball. He's what you want from your 4 in this era.
Yeah, which is what you want. It's his job. He understands his role, even for somebody that asks for the max.
I mean, if you want to say, he might be one of the most important pieces of the offense.
Yeah.
He's the one setting the high pick and roll for Trey. He's catching the lobs. He's able to space out into the corner. And then you add Clint Capella, who's their defensive stalwart. Everything's going to him. Yeah. Boards. Great rim runner, too. I mean, he was doing it with James Harden. Now he's doing it with Trae Young. So.
Yeah. And it's just...
it's a very balanced team.
It's balanced. I really do like it. Offensively, but again, defensively, they're just really front court heavy.
That's the only area of the backcourt defense.
Yeah, but I mean... If you think about it, I mean that's the reason why they lost to the Bucks in the first place, because Drew is just too big, and he got the switch on Horder or Trae Young every time.
And that's the problem. You're gonna have to disguise these. You're gonna have to hide these guys on defense. And when that happens, that's where you run into issues. Yeah. Like the Bucks, they didn't really have to hide anybody on defense.
Because they're so big all around. But yeah, defensively, it worries me for playoffs again, because they're definitely a playoff team again. They're probably I'd say 4th seed, like ceiling, and then floor is 6th.
Over under 55 wins.
I think under, but just under, just under,
53,
50, yeah, 50 in the 55 range. Considering again Nate McMillan's full season with them, Trae Young is gonna be Trae Young. He might average 30 and 10, because
he's gonna be
something crazy.
He's gonna be 28 and 10 again, like he has been.
Something crazy. Bogdan, I think he's gonna continue his shooting. He shot okay in the playoffs, from what I remember. He shot okay. He's just a good scorer. He's a streaky shooter. So once everything opens up,
he could put the ball in the hoop. I'm jealous that they have.
Yeah. So what because Trae Young is literally like a focal point, but then if you focus too much, then you have Bogdan at the 2 at the wing who can score and put the ball on the floor and create too. DeAndre Hunter, who is starting to develop a Kawhi-like mid-range game. Yeah. John Collins, who's just going to go in the corner, and then you have Clint Capella, who is your vertical threat. But the bench is where I have questions with this team, because like.
Yeah,
Sharif Cooper.
I don't think he's going to be the first guy off the bench.
I put him there because I feel like McMillan might
let him loose, you know.
At some point, at some point, so that way come playoff time, they have a reliable scorer. Because coming off the bench last year, it was just Lou and Horder, pretty much, until they got Cam like halfway through the what was I gonna say? Through the series?
I think what's gonna happen, they're probably gonna stagger DeLon and Lou Will's minutes at the 1 off the bench. They're gonna have Kevin Huerter, either Cam Reddish and DeAndre splitting up time at the wing position, and then Gallo, who pretty much does the things John Collins does shooting wise. He's not the lob threat at all or plays defense.
No, not at all.
So like if you look at their lineup, like their secondary guys, they kind of mimic a little bit of what their starting lineup does.
You're right.
So
you're
like
oh, that is right. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah. So teams can never really get a break. I don't know if Sharif Cooper plays that many minutes. I think it goes to Lou Will. Onyeka got playoff minutes last year.
He did get playoff minutes.
That's probably very valuable to his development.
Yeah.
Might see him become like a Clint Capella light next year.
Yeah, we'll see. Because, I mean, yeah.
Rookie year Onyeka, at the beginning, he kind of, you could tell he was a little raw. He wasn't adjusted to the game yet.
No.
I mean, obviously, he developed enough that they trusted him in the playoffs.
Yeah, and because of the injury.
Yeah.
Too, that he suffered, that he didn't come back to, like, half or, like 2/3 of the season.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I didn't see that before, but you're right. Yeah, Sharif basically plays like Trae. Horner can shoot like Bogdan. Cam Reddish can shoot and defend like DeAndre Hunter. Gallinari can shoot like John Collins and has the same size, but obviously can't defend. And Onyeka can defend like Clint. It's just like a Clint light. And then you have like solid pieces like
Solomon Hill.
Depending on the situation, like Solomon Hill can go out there and defend a 1 or 2.
You need a big bruiser to put on the wing. Go ahead.
You need somebody to take an ankle. You put in Solomon Hill.
Yeah. The Laker fans aren't gonna like that one.
You need somebody to take an ankle. You put in Solomon Hill. You need more buckets off the bench. You put in Lou Will. If you need just another playmaking for like 8-10 minutes, you put in DeLon Wright.
Gorgie Jang's not playing.
Yeah, he's not playing.
Unless one of those guys gets hurt, but
yeah,
I have a hard time seeing that.
Do you think somebody gets moved in this lineup? If like let's say they start like 10 and 10 like at 500 after 20 games, like, or do you think they start panicking a little bit?
I mean, they could probably move Herter to the starting 2 if that happens. If Bogdan, if he isn't living up to what his price tag is. But the thing I see happening the most is like maybe at the deadline, before the extension deadline, they move on from Cam Reddish and they get maybe a couple picks, maybe another guy on a rookie deal.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure teams like the idea of Cam Reddish on their team.
I think I think a lot of people do.
That's something the Hawks have to think about. It's like, well, do we let him go for nothing?
Yeah.
Or do we get something?
Yeah. Because I think for this type of team, I don't think you can take Cam Reddish and somebody else on this team and then get back somebody that can fill in both roles, because you'll have those spots missing. So I think in this case, if Cam Reddish gets moved, it'll most likely be on like him for another guy who's like an established veteran that can do what he does, but can also play make a little bit and defend like 1s and 2s and a pick or something.
And especially the way Cam Reddish played like towards the end of the playoffs, like he started really showing what he could be. I don't think Cam Reddish is going to want to stick behind DeAndre Hunter for too long.
No.
He's not going to want to, take a backseat in money.
No.
Like, he wants to get paid.
Yeah, and then right now, he's not better than DeAndre. I don't think he is.
Or do you start him at the 2, but you move Bogdan to the bench?
I don't know, because it depends on whether Bogdan likes coming off the bench, which he's shown.
He's done it before.
And
that'd be a scary lineup.
I think he said he kind of likes it.
Yeah, because he
gets his own unit.
He gets to go against the second unit.
Mm-hmm.
He just gets to be a flamethrower.
Yeah.
And that helped the Hawks a little bit more because you put another defender, a positive plus defender, next to Trae Young, and it makes it easier to hide him.
Yeah. So
that's a lot of wingspan if you put Cam Reddish at the 2.
Yeah, they have a lot of wingspan. They have a lot of wingspan from spots 3 to 4, but the 3 spot will allow them to mix allow for hiding of Trae Young, because I think defensively their goal is to, like, if Trae Young's on the floor and they're spotting for him, hide him as much as possible, and that's why they got Cam Reddish in the first place, because I think that's what they were expecting anyway. And DeAndre Hunter, obviously.
That second unit, if you drop Bogdan down, it'd be like Lou Will, Herder, Bogdan, Gallo, Onyeka. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of what we saw a little bit of in the playoffs.
It's solid.
Just full offense. Just go full offense. Keep scoring points, and then let your dogs get back in. And I mean, I could see that working.
It's solid. And then, like, defensively, to add more height and to add I think the primary defensive lineup would probably be DeLon, because he's just bigger. So, like, just put him out there. Bogdan, because he's just bigger. I mean, or you can put Cam there, like you said, at the 2, DeAndre at the 3, John at the 4, and then Clint at the 5. Like, you'll lose obviously the shooting and playmaking with DeLon, but it'll just make it hell for the other team with wingspan.
And then I'm pretty sure they'll go back to the lineup they used where they went Trae, Bogey, DeAndre, John, and then Gallo.
Oh, yeah.
So all shooting, just space it out.
Yeah. I like that lineup.
Because then at that point, you switch John Collins as the lob threat, and he's still able to shoot. And then you add Gallo to space out the floor even more. Like, it's just...
when I saw it...
They have a lot of routes they could go.
Yeah, when I saw it, I really liked that lineup. And, I mean, we're forgetting about him because he's not on here, but Jalen Johnson did well in the Summer League. So we'll see if he gets minutes at all, because... Obviously, John and Gallo are better than him right now.
Yeah.
So who knows if he gets it? Honestly, they can do without Sharif and Jalen Johnson right now. Like, the pieces are there. So it's just really up to Nate McMillan giving them minutes. I believe that Jalen will get blowout minutes.
I think he'll get some run at 3 or the 4. Maybe spot rotation minutes.
But like rotation, like actual rotation minutes, or like scrum minutes?
Not like consistent. Like, maybe they'll throw him in here for like a 12 minutes a game.
Oh, okay. I
it's
see.
Not gonna be consistent. Like,
so he's situational.
Yeah, like a situational.
Okay. So yeah, I agree with that.
It may be depending on the matchup that day.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like Jalen would probably match up well, because he's what, like 6'9", like 2 something.
I mean, Danilo's getting kind of old, so if he gets hurt, someone goes down.
That is true. Yeah.
He's right there.
It's just the shooting. You lose shooting with him on the floor.
But he's more of a playmaker.
Yeah.
Getting to the hole. Let's
see. I'm trying to figure out what situations you'd put him in. Like what matchups would you have him in? Like, who could he put? Because again, he's still a rookie. So I don't. It might. Especially with good 4s like Giannis and like KD, like I don't know if he'll get exposed.
I don't know if you want to throw him out there yet.
Yeah, not yet. Or I think he'd be better. He'd be better at the 3, or if he shows great lateral quickness and like they see defensive potential, you just put him out there at the 2.
I think he might come on as like a lob threat.
Yeah, because he can jump out the gym.
And then his playmaking is just like a plus.
A plus.
Capella doesn't have that.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean that's
small ball 5.
Yeah, there are a lot of lineups you can do with this team.
They have a lot of young talent.
Yeah, it's just again the money is the scary thing for this team.
And that's the good thing and the bad thing of having a lot of young talent.
Yeah, because if it all pans out, and it's kind of funny because if you think about it, obviously this is going to be attached to this team and the Mavericks is the Trae thing, because Luka is having Mark Cuban is having a hard time trying to find pieces around him, and like who knows if they didn't trade. This is perfect for him, for Luka.
But I mean, we got Luka.
Yeah, I mean, obviously,
I'm not losing sleep.
No, yeah, but like the thing is, I look at this team and I'm like, for Luka, this is better than having to find him a second guy. So, I mean, I think they would have, if you put Luka on this team last year, I think they go to the same place, because I don't think they're beating the Bucks like with Luka or without.
No.
I don't know, but I mean,
give Luka John Collins.
But then they're gonna spot him with, like, they're gonna try to find him anyway. They're gonna hide Luka because Luka's
Luka's more capable of playing.
Luka's bigger, but
I mean,
like,
he's a solid defender. I'll send you some highlights.
Send me some highlights. He's like a
I'll send you the
C- defender.
He's a B minus.
He's like a C.
He's a +6 guy.
No, I keep forgetting he's a +6 guy.
7'2" wingspan. As soon as he puts his body on you, you're not going many places.
So yeah,
you're gonna be breathing heavy,
bruh,
when he puts that belly on you.
But yeah, I really like this team. There's a lot of big and small lineups that you can run. Defensive, offensive lineups that we've seen already that I think they're going to continue to run. Again, money is the big question, and because the money thing, because can you keep Cam Reddish in the first place? Does he want to go somewhere if you can't give him the money he wants? And for what you will get in return? And two, you're banking on player development. Will somebody take a dip down? Will somebody have a year? But I think they're already at the point where it's just like sophomore slumps don't exist anymore. Like Trey's going in his third, I think, or fourth, right?
Fourth year, yeah.
Fourth. John Collins is going in his fourth too. Fifth. Okay. DeAndre Hunter's going in his third.
Yeah.
So there's no sophomore slumps here at all or nothing. So again, just more player development can.
I think DeAndre Hunter's going to second year, isn't it?
Second
or third? Third. What's Cam Reddish going into?
His second. It's with Zion. He's with Zion. He's the same class as Zion. So third.
Third. Hunter is going into his.
Was he in the same class as John?
Was he? No, he was after John.
No, so third too. So they're in the same class, I guess.
Was it? Let me check.
I don't remember. But anyway,
yeah. There's
no sophomore slumps here. So it's like you're just banking on player development of, like, can somebody do something that they didn't do last year? Is basically what is going to happen to this team. I'm excited for this team. Before, the Hawks were kind of just a franchise that was, like, just kind of there, and then they got, like, one season.
He's going his third year.
His third, okay. Then they're going into then they have, like, one season where, like, they're kind of there, but then, like, the Hawks have always been a team that kind of hang around.
They've always been solid, but they just had LeBron in their conference.
Yeah, and then now they don't, and they went to the Eastern Conference Finals, but now they have to do with Brooklyn and Milwaukee,
yeah.
But we'll see. I like this team a lot, though, and again, in the addition subtractions, I mean, Sharif Cooper and Jalen Johnson are the only guys you can that'll have impact. And then the subtractions, they didn't lose anybody, which is a good thing. But who knows? Cam Reddish might be here. This is TBA, so it's TBD.
To be discussed.
Not needs to be discussed. So yeah, I like this team. So leave down in the comments if you think Cam Reddish will leave, or if you think they'll try to trade him for somebody. Your predictions on, like, where this team will end up, and yeah. So yeah,
they'll go to the second round this year, but they'll lose there.
They'll go to the second round?
Yeah, but they're going to lose in the second round.
To who? Is that really how good? Okay, yeah, you're right.
They're going to lose to Indiana.
Out of all teams, Indiana. So yeah, all right, next team. The Charlotte Hornets. Ooh. Diddly D. Oh, Miles! You saw the 2K trailer for the PA announcers, right?
Yeah.
That they're going to have the real guys. And
he's the TV guy.
Who?
The
no, yeah. I know he's a TV guy, but the guy in the announcers, right? In the PA announcers, they were saying Miles Bridges' name, and the way he says it is so cool. He goes, Miles Bridges, and I'm like, what the fuck?
That's from there's a YouTuber named QJB.
Really?
Remember him?
No.
His character was like, his name was London Bridges.
Mm-hmm.
So he'd be like, London Bridges.
No, I never. I think I'm too young.
That's my child.
I think I'm too young. You're like 21.
I'm 19. Damn. There gonna be some furniture moving.
All right, next team, Charlotte Hornets. This team kind of had it's one of the teams that me and Miles had a hard time with. Obviously, you're going to have LaMelo start. I mean, who else can you go to? You're gonna have him start.
The spots that I had set in stone are like LaMelo, Terry's gonna start, Gordon's gonna start.
Yeah.
There's some conversations about the 4. Miles had a pretty good year.
Yeah.
He improved shooting. He's shooting like 40% from 3.
Yeah.
Mason Plumlee, obviously. I think this is what I think is gonna happen to Mason Plumlee. He's gonna start the year, right? Midway through the year, they're gonna give Kai Jones the starting job. That'd be hot.
I think that'd
be real hot.
They're gonna alternate starts. Like Mason starts like 4 games, and then Kai he'll get the run at some point. I like the 5 of LaMelo, Terry, Gordon Hayward, PJ Washington, and Kai, because I feel like
PJ Washington, man.
Huh?
RP.
Oh yeah, rip. Yeah, you know what's funny? When I was making this depth chart, I was gonna put Brittany Renner on PJ Washington's spot, but I was like, nah.
We'll spare the guy.
Well, yeah, we'll spare him. He deserves it. He just wants to see his kid.
Yeah.
He's tweeting it out like every day now. But so there are a lot of different ways. I think for this team, it preference matters a little bit for like how you want to run. So there's no real. I think Charlotte is probably going to be in like top 5 of like different of the number of times they have different starting lineups.
Okay, like the different variations used.
Yeah, like they'll probably have like 20 maybe, or like no, that's too high. Like 10 or 15 probably in that range of like different starting lineups.
Yeah, they'll have like 5 just based off of Gordon Hayward being healthy or not.
Yeah. So I mean, we'll see, because I like LaMelo.
Terry.
For the 2, for me, it's the question of like, I think you start off with Book Knight, giving him his own unit to see how he runs just his own unit. But at some point, if he does go crazy, do you put him next to LaMelo for basically a 2-point guard set?
Yeah. They did sign Terry to a big deal.
Right. So, I did see that too. So I don't know if he's gonna want to come off the bench.
Yeah.
To a rookie nonetheless.
That's true.
So I think they start out the year with Book Knight giving him his own unit. But again, the question is,
I mean, that'd be a solid unit, and coming on with Oubre, Miles Bridges,
and Kai.
I mean, that's
solid.
Yeah.
It's solid. I mean,
young.
And Ish Smith is a good veteran. Like he's solid. He's always been solid. The dude's like sneaky fast. And then the 3, I think this depth stays.
It's got to be Gordon.
Unless he decides not to play, because that's what it came to. That's why he didn't play the play-in last year, because he hurt his fingy.
The guy can't stay healthy ever since he broke his leg in half.
I still remember that. Like watching it
Hayward
live.
has broken his leg.
Like I still remember that. I still.
But like Kevin Harlan, no sympathy.
Yeah.
Oh, Hayward has broken his leg in half. It's like, what? Like, come on, dude. The guy has a family. And they pan over to Dwayne Wade with his
head. And he's just holding it down. Like, it was so sad, bro.
Hayward has lost his leg. That's horrible, man.
Freaking, this dude was a freaking amputee on the court. But I still remember, like, where I was when it happened. And, like...
Opening night, right?
Opening night.
That's tough.
It sucked. Everybody thought the Celtics were going to do great that year until that happened. And, like, I knew it as soon as he landed. I was like... Because I've landed... You know my ankles. Yeah. I've landed like that so many times. And obviously I'm just blessed that I have, like, a broken ankle like he had. But I just knew it right away. I was like, this dude's not looking well. And then they panned it, and then his foot is just dangling.
Yeah, it was facing the other way.
Damn, dude. Like, that's tough. But I don't think none will be worse than Paul George's broken leg.
And it's funny. His looked worse, but it wasn't that severe. It was just like a...
It was just a snap and half,
yeah.
which is always better. Because snap and halves take, for some, like, it's just snaps and halves.
Hayward's... I mean... Paul George is worse, but I think Hayward's like the severity of it.
The severity was right. Yeah, because it took him a while to completely come back, to be able to have like just the courage to go up for a layup in traffic.
Yeah, I think he still has it in the back of his mind.
Yeah, it's like, damn, I could break my other one.
Yeah, that's pretty scary.
But yeah, so Gordon Hayward, I think stays at 3 if he stays healthy. Then again, Kelly is a good backup. He's solid.
Kelly, he's gonna have to play his way back into like his role again, because in Golden State they hated him, and I mean,
because he couldn't shoot.
The guy couldn't shoot the ball.
He couldn't shoot the ball. So we'll see if this is like a redemption year for him, which most likely will be.
It took a while for him to get signed too. So
yeah.
He has that Jalen Green chip.
Yeah. So I like it. I mean Kelly Oubre is one sexy motherfucker. So
yeah, he fits them too.
And he fits with them defensively. He fits with them slashing wise. Just the question is like, again, when you have the bench unit right on the second line, you have Ish, Bouknight, Kelly, Miles Bridges, Kai. You really only have like 2 shooters if Kelly is not who he is. Kai can't shoot, and then Ish is has never been known to shoot threes. So like, can Bouknight basically be?
That's not their style, man. They like to run and gun.
They like to run and gun. Yeah, I know, but we'll see.
And then Bouknight gives them something that they haven't had, and that's like that shot creation.
Right.
Like as good as LaMelo is passing wise and all that, his shot creation, like he's not getting to the elbow and pulling up. Bouknight has that.
Mm-hmm.
Terry and Bouknight are the only guys who have that, and they play the same position.
Right, which is good.
Yeah.
Which is good. Defensively, last year I think they were not that great defensively, because if you just look at this team, like interior,
it's all about Mason Plumlee,
no, he's never been.
PJ Washington ain't much of a defender.
No, Gordon Hayward, he's too scared. Terry,
PJ Washington's kind of becoming that John Collins mold.
Yes.
Shoot the ball, catch oops.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not defending your best player.
Yeah, he's a carbon copy of John Collins basically. Gordon Hayward, he's just too scared. Rozier, never been much of a defender either, and LaMelo's too lazy. So defensively, I don't know where you go. Like, let's say
Miles is your best defender.
On this team, Kelly and Miles Bridges are your best defenders. If Kai Jones ends up being an interior force when he does get the minutes, like we said, then he'll start. Because I feel like what's the coach's name? Borrego. If he understands, or if he notices that they have a higher plus minus defensively when Kai Jones is on the floor, interior wise, and he's just getting more blocks, he's just getting more boards, and like just working harder because the young legs, then he's going to start at that point. I think that's the trigger when they're gonna pull Plumlee and put Kai in the starting lineup just defensively. But like for Kai, I think his role comes in when he plays somebody who plays like him, if that makes sense. Like has no post game. Like, you put Plumlee for size when you play Jokic, when you play Embiid, Steven Adams, because Kai's gonna get launched to the third row if he even just plays Steven Adams.
You can put Kai against the Nets.
You can put Kai against the Nets because I mean it's just Claxton, right?
Yeah.
And so, but that's interior wise. That's the question. But I think that makes sense where you put Kai, somebody who has no post game, a center has no post game. But when you do have a center that has a post game, then you put in Plumlee. That's the trigger that's gonna happen. From the 4 spot, well, I don't know. Miles Bridges, obviously defensively, is better than all these other guys in the 4 spot.
Yeah.
So you put him. Do you think JT Thor's on here? Do you think he gets minutes? I don't think he does.
I don't think he plays any minutes.
I like JT Thor. A lot of people like him.
Spot minutes. I mean, I think Vernon Carey Jr. gets minutes over him.
Really? You think Vernon Carey Jr. gets minutes at all? That's why I left him off.
Yeah, I think he's gonna get some minutes.
They have they're really top. This is one of the teams where they're top heavy too from 3 on. Like, the Hornets have 3 guys. I mean the 3 spot has 3-4 guys depending on preference. 4 has 3-4 guys depending on preference, and then the 5 spot has 4 or 5 guys. I don't have Nick Richards on here. I don't have Vernon Carey on here. And then if you count JT Thor at 5, then you put him there. But there's just a lot of guys that are just gonna
I'll tell you what. This team's not gonna win many games, right?
No.
But they'll be really fun to watch.
They'll be really fun to watch.
This is gonna be like a League Pass team that I watch.
Yeah, a League Pass team.
I just want to see Kai Jones catch hoops.
Yeah, and I want to see Book Knight. I'm really high on Book Knight. The dude can score. I don't know how he fell this low. To this day, I don't know how he fell. I don't know how he fell this low.
Okay, over under 40 wins for this team. I'm going under. They won 33 last year.
How does gambling work? If I say over, that means 40, right?
Okay, over under 40 and a half. So anything over 40.
So under 40 and a half. I think at 40. Then they go at 40. Because, I mean, like,
well,
there's 82 games.
That's under.
Oh, yeah. So under 40 and a half. Because there's 82 games, right? So
Yeah.
that means we're projecting them to win basically half. Or be 500. Yeah, I see them 500. I think they're a 500 team. They're like.
I think they'll go 38 and 44.
That's a good range.
And they went 33 and 39 last year.
Yeah.
I just don't know if.
I think Book Knight will be at some point like.
LaMelo's gonna make his jump.
Oh yeah.
Of course, but I just don't know if these are the pieces. You know, like Mason Plumlee, is that really the piece that's gonna help you go to the playoffs?
No.
Ish Smith off the bench.
No.
Is he gonna help you?
This is not a playoff team. This is a play-in team. This is easily a play-in team. It's
Kelly
just like.
Oubre's solid. Book Knight's a rookie. I mean, he'll contribute, but he's not going to contribite to taking to the playoffs. Maybe next year or his third year.
Do you think LaMelo suffers a sophomore slump?
We'll see.
If people because
I'm an Ant-Man guy.
Yeah, you're an Ant-Man.
I'm an Ant-Man truther.
Yeah. So
I think Ant-Man's gonna have a better sophomore year.
Yeah.
I mean, he had a better rookie year, but they gave it to LaMelo.
Well,
I don't want to poke that bear though.
Charlotte media darling. So I mean, like,
I don't.
it's headlines.
Anthony Edwards said, "Don't let me get to 6'6". I'll become Jordan." He's 6'6". So
I saw something
I'm scared.
I saw something earlier. Speaking of rookie of the year, I saw something on Twitter that apparently Donovan Mitchell got robbed rookie of the year. Is trending in Philadelphia.
Oh really?
Yeah. So the same thing might happen.
I'm still mad about that.
What? Oh yeah.
LaMelo?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The guy,
it was close, but I was like,
the guy missed like 30, 40 games.
Yeah. I think there should always be a threshold for awards, but 30, 40 games, like, that's a lot, especially for a broken hand.
Yeah, it's tough.
And he didn't even come back right.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't shoot well after.
Anthony Edwards, like, his last month of the season, the guy was averaging like 27.
Yeah.
It was crazy. Something crazy.
So, I mean, we're angry, but
we'll see. I mean,
ideally,
I see LaMelo probably averaging like 19, 7-7,
19, 7. Yeah.
6'6". I don't know.
Yeah, I think you compare him to like,
or he can make that jump and be a 20+ scorer. Well, I haven't seen that yet. Like him breaking down a guy and then getting to the rim.
He's not there yet. He's not there. He gets most of his points off of like fast break pull up threes, fast break layups.
Yeah. I mean, his facilitating is great.
Yeah, he has no floater game yet. Unless he's been working on it.
That's what I want to see from him, like, because we know Lonzo, well, he's just pretty much a 3-point shooter.
Lonzo struggles in the paint. Like, he sucks. He's a sucky.
Yeah, so I want to see LaMelo be able to get to that point. Like,
he has the ability, because I think with LaMelo's, like, body type, it's a little lankier and a little more athletic.
He's 6'8", right?
Yeah.
6'8", 6'9". So you could really punish defenses in the pick and roll with that height.
Yeah.
Abuse the smaller defender. If he can get a post game, I know he's small, like frame wise, but like if you can get a post game, Luka's added it. Like you need a post game.
Yeah, a little bit just to get the switch off.
Yeah.
Or to like if they don't switch, if they don't switch.
In this league, you got to take whatever advantage you get.
Yeah.
And if you got a 6-inch advantage on a guy and you're not posting up, like that's why I get mad at Porzingis.
Yeah, I saw him do it on overtime a bunch of times. Yeah, overtime. I'm calling you out for freaking brainwashing me for all these ball highlights for the past 6 years.
Who do you think the team MVP is going to be?
LaMelo.
LaMelo?
It has to be. Like, I don't...
Watch Terry Rozier average like 26.
Yeah, like, does Terry Rozier have a scary Terry year?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, obviously, the departure of Devontae Graham helps, considering that you basically replace him with Book Knight, but Book Knight's so much better, I think. So...
We don't know that yet.
Well, we don't know that yet, but
potential.
Potential is higher than Devontae. So this is one of those teams where I think it's just gonna be really fun to watch, but aren't gonna make much noise outside from that, other than like, this is the perfect team to promote the NBA.
This is a House of Highlights team right here.
Basically, this is the perfect team to promote the NBA.
This is an NBA Dunk Week #NBA Dunk Week caption team right here.
Exactly. Like, I could see, like, who do you think is gonna have more dunks?
Oh.
I want to count them out. Charlotte or Chicago?
Charlotte.
Yeah.
Miles Bridges is gonna get like 50 alone.
50 alone? Okay. We're gonna tabulate that at the end of the year. We're gonna someone remind us. Who's going to have the most dunks, Charlotte or Chicago? Put it in the comments. What do you think each one's going to get? But, okay, in this team, who do you think is going to get more dunks?
Miles Bridges.
Miles Bridges, yeah. I feel like Miles Bridges is going to pull a dunk of the year next year. Yeah. Or this coming year. Okay, let's say they start Book Night over Rozier. Let's just say hypothetically, right? Who is your first scoring option at that point?
Gordon Hayward.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Who's your second?
LaMelo Ball.
And your third is Book Night?
I don't trust the rookie though. I mean,
you're right.
I mean, that's kind of a lot to put that load on him. So like.
But I think he's ready. He has the attitude.
I think Rozier's gonna be the.
Yeah.
It's gonna be Rozier, Hayward, LaMelo.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean.
But then LaMelo's obviously gonna have the ball most of the time, but he's gonna be finding guys.
Yeah. Let's see. How would I do it? I mean, obviously LaMelo's the star player, but the thing is, he's so weird. It's just like it's almost exactly like Lonzo in a way where like they're the star player of their team, they just can't create for themselves, so you can't call them the first scoring option.
They like defer more to the other guy.
Yeah. So like
Hayward has a package. I mean.
Yeah, Hayward's always been solid. He's always been nice in the mid range.
He has the ability to put up 22 to 24 again.
Yeah, which I think he will. I think it'll be a redemption year for him, because obviously he missed out. He's going to be healthy, unless something crazy happens in like the next. Like, I'm gonna open my phone right now at the end of recording this, and it's gonna be like, yeah, Gordon Hayward tore his ACL or something. Like, knock on wood, but hopefully that doesn't happen. But we'll see. He's able to stay healthy, but
I mean, I want LaMelo to surprise me.
Yeah,
put up 20 plus this year, man.
I hope, because you're gonna get, if you don't, there's gonna be a lot of Ant-Man truthers.
If Anthony Edwards averages 24 next year, it's over for LaMelo.
Yeah,
they're gonna come for that Rookie of the Year trophy.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
That's gonna be a fun little rivalry to watch over their careers. Anthony Edwards versus.
Yeah, it's gonna be
markets, you know.
It's gonna be the same thing for Luka and Trey. It'll have the same like substance as to like. Obviously, they won't ever meet each other in the playoffs unless they meet in the finals, but that'll never happen unless they switch teams, because the roster construction, like, this is nowhere near even a playoff team.
Yeah.
This is just a play-in team, and I don't even know. It depends. Like, if they play Washington, let's say, I don't know who wins.
Washington wins that one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know who wins. We'll see, unless like you get a crazy game for somebody, but I don't see who wins.
You know, they're on my list though for teams to watch, just off of. Just like having fun watching basketball.
Oh yeah. This is the perfect. This is the team that'll promote the NBA. That easily will promote the NBA, and so like it'll be good for basketball. But if you look at this team deeply, roster construction wise, this is just a play-in team. I like the pieces. I like the Kelly Oubre edition. Like we look here, I like the Kelly Oubre edition. They lost Malik Monk, but they got back with Kelly, basically. Even though Malik is a true scorer off the bench, like, they did pretty well. Like, he was basically like a six-man for them, like a solid six-man for them. Mm-hmm. They can come off the bench, score like high volume. But I mean, you just had to give the roster spot to Book Night in the first place, and then Oubre gives you the defensive punch more than the offensive punch. You lost Caleb Martin, which is the twin.
We don't care. We don't
care. They added Kai Jones, obviously, and then they lost Devontae Graham.
Have fun in Europe, Caleb.
Have fun in Europe. It's so. I wonder how they told Cody.
It's either you stay with us, or you get cut and go to Europe too. And he chose to stay.
Just to stay.
I'm pretty sure they could switch like roles. Like Caleb can go in
Yeah.
And they wouldn't notice. Like Cody, I don't feel like playing. I want to play like.
It's like Markeith and Marcus.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they've switched jerseys before.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, I mean, I like roster again. We'll see what happens. They're a playing team. They're like at a 500, a little below maybe 500 team. But again, at the same time, the East is so good that like they might not even reach like 40 wins. Like they might be at 30 or something something like floor for them is like 30 wins.
Someone's got to lose
because again, like we keep saying with every single team, it's just like both conferences have gotten so good that somebody's got to lose. So unless they go on a crazy hot streak and they get a pretty easy schedule, I haven't checked their schedule or like difficulty. So we'll see if they get consistent bad teams for like a full month. And if they go on a hot streak, so we'll see. I'm excited for this team to watch them, but I'm not excited for this team just like where they like playoff wise. So yeah, leave your predictions in the comments. Not the comics. We don't have comics yet. The comments.
Come on, Stanley.
In the comments. Where you see this team going above, what do we say, 40.5?
Yeah.
Over under 40.5 wins.
Going under.
Do you like Kai Jones and Book Knight on this team? Do you think they get run together? How much impact do you think they have on this team is the question. So yeah, we'll go on the next team. The Miami Heat. Ooh, this is easily a playoff team.
I hate the
Easily a
Miami
playoff team.
Yeah, they're going to be a top 5 team in the East.
Top 5 team in the East.
And if they don't, man, it's going to look real bad.
My question is, with every team, is depth, right? As we've seen here, they have no bench. They have no bench that's reliable. They have no solid scoring punch off the bench. They are in the same predicament as they're even worse bench depth wise than the Lakers and the Nets, which is kind of saying a little bit.
I kind of like what they got going, to be honest with you.
Okay, let me run it down. Right, you have Kyle Lowry, which obviously is going to freaking start. Duncan, you just signed him 5-year $90. Congratulations on that, by the way.
You need to shoot in.
Yeah.
Who they have in their starting lineup?
Jimmy, obviously. PJ, obviously, and Bam, obviously. So like, the starting 5 is a pretty obvious starting 5. Like that's why you wanted Kyle Lowry in the first place. The bench is where it gets iffy.
Hey man, I like Gabe Vincent.
I like him too, but like,
I think he's decent.
Is he the 6th man that's going to?
Well, Tyler Hero's gonna be the 6th man.
Right, but he had a terrible year last year.
Hey, what is it? A sophomore slump?
That sophomore slump.
He might come back next year.
Maybe.
Who knows?
We'll see.
It's when it all went downhill once he made that face in the final.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah,
it did.
He just had a kid. Hopefully that Hopefully that grounds him. You know what happens when guys become dads.
Yeah, that's true.
So
that's true. Well, except with Mike Conley, because Mike Conley had his kid in the bubble and he missed the shot.
Well, it's because Donovan laid down for like 11 seconds.
No, it wouldn't even have counted in the first place because they looked over and Rudy Gobert stepped out of bounds when Torrey Craig missed the rebound, so it wouldn't even matter. Anyway, that's a topic for a different day. The bench is again where I get iffy.
I have KZ Okpala at the backup 3.
KZ Okpala, Jesus Christ, I forgot about him.
Oh. Over Max Strus, at least.
It's Max Strus. Okay.
Same thing.
I don't know how to add the 2 dots, I think.
He's going to be in Europe next year.
Max Strus. No, he's nice. I like Max. He's a bigger Duncan.
Whoa.
Or he's like the same.
Whoa.
He's the same. It's the same. It's carbon copy. It's the same thing.
Markieff Morris is solid. I mean, he's not his brother, but...
Oh, yeah, he's solid.
I mean, maybe... You know what happens? We like to say, when shooters put on that Lakers jersey...
Oh, yeah.
Minimum, you're going down 8% on your three-point.
Yeah, now he took it off, and...
There you go, more shooting behind PJ. And he's 6'8".
Mm-hmm.
Not bad.
Mm-hmm.
Good front court job. Dwayne Dedman. I had a Dwayne Dedmon pipe dream like 2018. I wanted him to be our starting center on the Mavs. Yeah, you know, like the J. Michael Green fascination.
Yeah.
Dwayne Dedmon sold me when he started shooting threes. We never got him, but.
So yeah, the bench, and then Omer Yurtseven.
Oh yeah, you gotta bring him.
The
up.
legend of. You have to call him up. Omer Yurtseven, dude. I went to Vegas, right? During summer league, right? And that's when I texted you. It's like, oh damn, we should have done it this year because there's a lot of good rookies. I thought I saw him in a CVS, but I don't think it was him because there was this guy in a CVS.
Did he look 6'10", 6'11"?
Yeah.
Oh, that's probably him.
But it didn't look like him, so I was like, and he was on a FaceTime call, whoever it was, because they all have, in the summer league, they all have the N95 mask, right, with the summer league on it, and it has their name. But he kept moving, and he's like too fucking tall, so I couldn't see the name. But I know it started with a Y though, but it was like the same Turkish thing, but I don't think it was him. He was on a FaceTime call. I don't want to bother him because like he's like looking for like some bath products or something, and I'm like, I don't want.
Well, you just fumbled the bag.
I don't want to. I didn't want to.
When he becomes a perennial all-star, you're gonna hate yourself.
I don't know. I have to look back in my memory like clearly to think it was him, but the mask.
He showed out in the summer league though.
He did. I loved Omer.
He played so good they gave him a contract after the second game.
Yeah, he put up a total of like. In 2 games, 60 points and like 20-something rebounds. Like it's on like.
Could we say that's an all-time summer league performance?
Oh yeah, and he can shoot.
Yeah.
If the 3 he can space, like if worst comes to worst, if Dwayne Dedmon like just completely sells himself to a father time, you have Omer Yurtseven.
Yeah, and then we know with Miami Heat, they have a knack for finding guys like this and developing them.
Yeah.
And I could see Omer becoming a pivotal part in their lineup like the next couple
which is
years.
crazy to think about. Like we just heard about this guy literally 2 months ago.
Duncan Robinson,
5-year, 90. One of like
Vincent.
Yeah.
Strus.
He and the Raptors have one of the best like. Would you call it farm systems of like grabbing guys you never heard of and then they end up going crazy?
And you got Victor Oladipo who's coming back in like November, December.
I had a thing. I think I told you. Oh no, I told my dad. I was like, I think Victor signed the 1 year just to make use of their rehab facilities. I don't think he's ever gonna play. I think he just signed it just like let me use your rehab. I like being in Miami. I like the massage therapist I have here. So he'll come back the half year.
I think he'll play a little bit, but they might move him at the deadline since he's on a minimum.
Right.
So it's like or buy him out.
Yeah, I think it'd be best to buy him out and then grab somebody for the 3 spot because I think the 3 spot is a place for this team that like needs help.
Yeah.
Because there's no way. Are you really gonna have Jimmy playing 38 minutes a game?
I mean, he's done it before.
He's done it and he can, but like he's not getting any younger. He's 33.
It's that Heat culture, man. They take pride in playing 40 minutes a game.
Right, and then his contract is huge.
I mean, Udonis Haslem was gonna be playing 40 minutes a game. So.
Oh yeah, I forgot to put Udonis Haslem over here, but he's player coach.
Just get him on the coaching staff.
Yeah, he's player coach. But Jimmy, the thing is with Jimmy is that he's not getting any younger.
That's the problem with the Heat. Their window right now
is 2 years.
Yeah, 2 years. Because Kyle's 36, going 37.
And Jimmy's contract ends when he's 38, 37.
Yeah, so you kind of like deadlocked yourself here because Kyle Lowry, I mean, tail end of his career, he's not going to be too valuable.
Yeah.
Jimmy Butler, tail end of his contract. Bam's your most valuable asset. Duncan Robinson, I'd say.
And then you lost 3 valuable assets, 2 or 3 from the Kyle Lowry trade. You lost Precious Achiuwa. Yeah. You lost Goran Dragic. I mean, he was on the tail end. Like he doesn't even want to play there. Yeah. So
you get a little older. PJ Tucker, he's 35, 36.
Keith, you get 30-some.
Tyler Hero's young. It's just they kind of deadlocked. Don't get me wrong, they're gonna be a top 5 team in the East this year.
Yeah.
It's just like this, like the longevity of this team. It's
2 years. Like
it's kind of questionable.
After 2 years, you blow it up. Yeah. You blow it up. But then again, even at that, you don't have at this point.
Are you gonna get a haul for a 35-year-old, 36-year-old Jimmy Butler?
No, you're not even gonna get a haul for when Kyle Lowry's contract ends. Kyle Lowry might sign a +1 after that. after his 2-year ends, and then go back to Toronto to have his freaking retirement year. And then Jimmy, I don't know, you're not going to get a haul for him. PJ is too old already. Like, he might retire by the time, like, Jimmy's in his, like, contract ends. And then Bam stays, and he's just by himself. And then, like, you just have to fill the rest of the roster up. Like, 2 years from now, or 3, this roster is going to be filled with all Summer League guys, basically.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if in 3-4 years they're in the lottery.
Yeah, and then just going to start the process over again, where before you had Josh Richardson, Justice Winslow,
James Johnson,
like those guys that like put up a fight because of the Heat culture, but I mean, not going to do anything.
One thing that they have going for them is their geography. Mm-hmm. Everyone wants to play in Miami.
That's the thing too.
I blame LeBron for that.
Yep. But the weird thing is like Miami is a place you want to play, right? But I haven't heard of anybody saying they want to play in Miami this past offseason besides Kawhi. But
Kyle just went because Jimmy Butler is his
homeboy.
Like, no, I think he's like his kid's godfather.
Oh, kid's god.
Something crazy.
It's not DeRozan?
No. Yeah,
wow, that's kind of weird.
Yeah. So, I mean, but think about it. Who wouldn't want to play in Miami?
Yeah.
South Beach looks pretty nice from what I've seen.
It does. So yeah, I mean, if there's one big star that they'll get, it's probably Kawhi at one point in his year. Like, I feel like Kawhi has like a bucket list in his room or something. It's like, I'm gonna play for this team, get him a championship. So, like, I feel like it's so weird, Kawhi, because I think once he gets his chip with the Clippers, like he's leaving weirdly.
Yeah, it's usually guys run it back again.
And he's like,
Kawhi's like, oh, I finished this mission.
Yeah, I want to try something new. It's in his AI.
Could you see like a situation, say they get outed in the first round, this team. Can you see a situation where they trade Jimmy Butler to a contender and they get some young pieces back and they just start to rebuild them?
Yeah. Because I think they had a very disappointing playoffs last year. Because everybody and their mom thought that Miami had a really, like, it would go to 7. It'll be one of the best first-round series.
Swept, right?
And it got swept. Right. So, part of it was Jimmy's ego, saying that he's locked in, but got swept. And then like, shot horribly from the field.
Yeah.
So, I think, because, like, you probably signed him to that contract, obviously understanding that you had 2 years. Part of it was he wanted to stay and he likes being in Miami.
Yeah.
But you also have to think about your future, right? So, last year you got swept, or the year prior you got to the finals and you basically ran it back. Next year you got swept because, I don't know if it was the bubble effect, I don't know if it was whatever. This year, if nothing happens, I'd say they ponder on it and trade away most of these pieces, like PJ and anything on the bottom row probably gone for somebody else besides Hero. But then, like,
they could have James Harden, but they didn't want to trade Tyler Hero.
And now look at this team. It's just the bench is just.
Well, imagine you'd have James Harden, Duncan Robinson, Butler, and Adebayo. Like, that is such a good core.
That's a good core. But I don't know. Pat Riley.
Well, they did have a short turnaround, right? So they're having like a full off season, I guess. Maybe that plays a part and they're better.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
We'll see. I don't know. Because, again, I think they had a lot of people suffering from COVID last year, too.
Yeah. They had a lot of roster
a lot of roster movement. So I think the game plan, if I'm Eric Spoelstra, is that I'm going to keep either Lowry or Jimmy on the floor at all times. I don't care what unit you're running. They need to be on the team at all times. That's my dog. Jesus Christ. Hey, that is a sign that the Heat are dogs. Heat are dogs. Hey, what's the TikTok one?
Oh, can you tell us about your running back? Sure. J.D. Johnson, dog.
That's how we see that for MLB. It's like
Saquon Barkley, dog.
Nick Castellanos, dog. So yeah, like, they need to be on the floor at all times. I don't, like, they need to be, because they provide you the stability of the starting five and how they run, what plays they play. all that stuff. So they need to be on the team. I mean, on the floor.
I don't know how Kyle Lowry is going to be able to play 37 minutes a night.
I don't know either, but he always has. A good thing about Lowry that has always been there is longevity and being able to stay on the floor, being able to stay on the court. He gives you the defensive punch. He gives you the offensive punch. So the question is, what lineups do you run around Jimmy? Because there aren't many options in the first place. So like, do they run specifically? Because they kind of play the same. It's just like Lowry's just like, what, like 4 inches taller? Yeah. I mean, shorter.
Yeah.
So like, is Duncan Robinson the priority to stay on the floor too with them at all times?
I think you have to. If not, that court just gets shrunken. And it's just
or like Tyler Hero, does he become like he?
I think there's only one way for Tyler and it's up. I don't think he could be worse than what he was last year.
No, maybe, I don't know.
I have faith in him. I think he'll improve.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he has to if he wants to stay in the league.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, so like, unless Hero completely turns it around,
I already know how this is gonna go. They're midway through the year. They're gonna bring some guy from the G League no one's ever heard of. And he's going to be like a main rotation piece for that. It's going to be like the next guy. It never ends with him.
Yeah, it always how it works. But, I mean, that's just good. That's just good, good scouting. That's just good scouting.
Yeah.
Markieff is going to play 25. He has to, like...
He's going to be the main wing.
Like, there's just no... For most of these players, there's just no option. Like, there's just no... Like, you have to be... Like, Kyle Lowry, Jimmy, you have to be on the floor. Duncan, you have to play 35 or more. PJ and Markieff, you're going to have to switch. Bam, you're going to have to be on the floor for almost 40 a night, basically. And Hero...
They're going to be a hell of a defensive team, though.
A really good defensive team. Yeah. They're going to be top 5 defensively, for sure.
I could see them giving Brooklyn some fits if they run into them.
Yeah, I think they're...
Kyle on Kyrie.
They will have the slowest pace, or close to the slowest pace in the NBA. So they'll kill you with pace, and they'll kill you defensively, to the point where I think if we look back at the end of the year, the amount of points they give up per game will probably be in the... Because I think the league average, we're at a 110 pace right now, I think, or 100 pace. So each the teams are averaging like 115 a game, I think.
Yeah, around there.
This past season.
Around there, a lot of scoring now.
Yeah, so right now I think if they I think we'll look at it and have the average be 105 or 100, and like that'll be enough, considering they'll play a really slow pace. Because I think the only fast way they play is through like Duncan just sprints right off the rebound and just shoots it, but Jimmy likes to slow things down, and that was one of the knocks on him that we had in the finals or like in the playoff run, that he could play too slow. Lowry likes to play methodically. PJ is not
a good shooter.
He's a good shooter. Yeah, PJ Tucker is not what he used. He's not. He doesn't have the legs anymore. And Bam is just a vertical threat, but he's not gonna like. He's not like I'd say Kai Jones like previously. Like he's not gonna be running back and forth like a lot. So
maybe PJ Tucker gets his shooting back. I mean, he did have his guard KD.
Yeah,
that takes a lot out of a guy.
And I think that's the only reason why, because I think that he understood. They were watching PJ the entire playoff run, was like. Yeah, we need him for KD.
Yeah.
Like they're
Butler on Harden, Kyle on Kyrie.
Yeah, I think they're geared up. They were like, okay, all I care about Milwaukee. I don't care about Milwaukee, even though I lost for some reason. They're like, I don't care about Milwaukee. All I care about is Brooklyn, because that's who everyone's going out for.
Yeah.
And even then, with Milwaukee, I think they still have a really good chance, because Bam gave Giannis a hard time the year prior in the bubble. You put Lowry on Drew. Not this year, but you put Lowry on Drew and you put Jimmy on Chris. Like, it could work.
Yeah, but their starting lineup matches well with any team.
With any team.
It's just the depth. That's where you run into issues.
This team is the depth. It's
I don't think they're
depth
dumb.
question mark.
I don't think they're dumb. I think they have a move in them before the deadline.
Yeah.
They're probably going to be in the buyout market. Like, this isn't what we're going to see come playoff time.
No. I think if there's one part of this team that moves, it'll probably be Victor Oladipo in a buyout.
Even Tyler Hero might get moved.
And yeah, I think Tyler Hero. I think what I would do is I'd give Dedmon a decent amount of playoff time, because I think if you get Hero and Deadman, you can get something okay back. Considering if Hero comes out scoring 18, maybe 15 off the bench.
Yeah.
And then Deadman's always been solid. So if you trade them,
yeah, you got Yurtseven to fill Deadman's role, and then you either get a wing.
I'd get a wing.
Yeah.
I'd get a shooting wing, another shooting wing, like somebody that can shoot all right, like are in the above 35% from three, but can hold their ground better than Duncan. Then I think that'll serve them better, because having somebody like Tyler Hero coming off the bench defensively is the question, because I feel like Miami Heat, they're so geared up for the playoffs that like they could care less about the regular season, because they know that this starting five defensively is enough to get them to the fifth spot, fourth spot. So it's just the playoffs. Like they have the same the same Lakers thing where like they both understand that like, okay, I just need to be geared up for the playoffs, and I could care less about the regular season. All we have to do is just win 50 games.
They're gonna coast the first 3 months of the year, and just like
and then turn it up.
Yeah.
So, for like, how would you run scoring options?
Jimmy
1,
Kyle,
and then Bam 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
You gotta start getting Bam more involved, I think.
Yeah.
We need to see more from him.
And Jimmy has been pushing him to shoot threes.
Yeah.
So, and if Bam shoots 30,
man, Bam gets a 3-point shot. This team is.
If Bam shoots 30% from three, on minimum 120 attempts.
Yeah, but I mean it's kind of tough. I mean, his career 20, 14, 25. That's
attempts. Or percentage.
That's percentage on 0.1, 0.2, 0.1 attempts a game.
So
like like low volume, low percentage. Like that's kind of tough to improve.
Yeah, it is tough to improve. But if he gets 30, because his best year was what? Would you say 28, 25?
25 last year.
Okay, 25 last year. Okay, so if he makes a jump to 29, 30 on minimum 60 then attempts.
Might be a lot to ask from him.
It might be, but
every year he's
some point.
Every year he's made a jump.
Yeah, so at some point.
He went from 7 to 9 to 16 to 18 last year. So if he could become a 20-point per game scorer,
that's enough. Because then you have Lowry, who has to be 20. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
The rare thing about Bam is he offers the playmaking ability from the 5. So it gives you another. So you have 3 playmakers on the floor.
Yeah.
Kyle, Jimmy, Bam.
And it's just the 2 and the 4 spots that's like.
Yeah.
You need shooting and you need defense.
Yeah.
You need defense.
Duncan's gonna be running off screens.
Yeah.
PJ's gonna be in the corner hustling for offensive rebounds, cutting when needed.
It'll be a great team. It'll be a great team. They're considering like big and small lineups or, play specific lineups. There's just no space for that because there's just no depth. So I don't see it because like, if you go all scoring, you're just too small. You're just way too small. Like you go all scoring. If you go all scoring, it's basically because there's no depth here. So if you go all scoring, it's your starting 5. If you go all defense, it's your starting 5.
Yeah.
So like it's the starting 5. You know how like in 2K when you just run a 5-man rotation is like all in at 48. Like that's probably what's going to happen at some point. Like there's just no space. There's just no. I can't see different ways to go about it. Only situational where like if PJ's not on offensively, you put a Markieff. If Tyler Hero will come in 6 men off the bench and will give you 10-15, but like he's not gonna find a spot to where he becomes.
He's not the shooter Duncan is, but I could see him playing that role. Like if they stagger those minutes and they put him in with like the starting rotation, like give Duncan a breather, he'll be playing like that same role.
Yeah.
But he offers a little bit more of putting the ball on the floor.
Yeah.
Getting guys going.
Yeah. So we'll see with this team. Again.
Top 4. I'll lock him in for a top 4 team in the East.
Yeah, top 4. I think over 50. Over 50.
Yeah. 55.5 over under.
55.5. Over.
I'll go over.
I go over. Yeah, I think they're in the 60 range. Maybe. Depends on the schedule.
I got them like at 56. 56 and like 26.
Okay, yeah. Depends on the schedule.
Yeah.
Depends on the schedule. But I think they're easily 4 or 5. So yeah, just to make sure you guys leave down below in the comments. Over, was it 55.5?
Yeah.
So over under 55.5. What is your opinion as to Miami's depth? Is the depth enough for you to make a clear assumption that they could beat the Nets or they could beat the Bucks? Like, is this team enough for both those teams? So yeah, just leave it down in the comments, and we'll see you later. And then we'll probably give us new perspective on like.
Enlighten me.
Yeah, enlighten us, please.
I always like hearing other people's viewpoints.
Yeah. That's why this podcast works, because even though we think similarly, we think differently at the same time. So yeah, please leave it down below in the comments. So yeah, again, additions, subtractions. They lost a lot of old guys basically.
Yeah.
And Goran, Andre, Trevor Ariza, and then lost 2 young guys in Kendrick and Precious.
They lost a pretty good amount of their rotation.
Yeah, just to only get back Kyle Lowry, PJ, and Markieff. But I mean, I guess it makes sense.
But what we saw on the depth chart, that's not what they're ending the season with.
No. So yeah, please leave it down in the comments. Please like, and also we're in the middle of this video. Please subscribe. Scroll down and hit the big red button, please. It's very satisfying when you click it.
I think it makes a noise now.
Yeah, it has Max Kellerman's salute speech when you click it. So yeah, next team, Magic. I like the Magic, weirdly enough. I saw a post about the Magic.
It's a lottery team.
Yeah, I saw the post about the Magic that they were only going to win 20 games.
Yeah, they won 21 last year.
Yeah, so that they were literally going to repeat 21 and 51 again.
61.
Oh, 61. Even worse.
They probably won like 23.
I don't know. Okay.
They might be in the teens, man. This is a young team.
It's a really young
team that will be good in a couple years, but they're super young.
They're in the same predicament as Charlotte.
Yeah.
The same thing. We're like very top heavy. They're very young. And the only way you play is use the young legs and running gun. So what do you think about the starting 5? Because this is what I drew up.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if Markelle Fultz is healthy, he's going to be the starter, but we don't know that. So Cole Anthony might start opening night. Jalen Suggs, I agree with that.
You have to.
You gotta. You didn't pick him 4th for him to. 4th or 5th? 5th.
5th.
You can pick
him
5th.
He fell.
Jonathan Isaac, I don't know if he's going to be healthy, so I had Terrence Ross. But if Jonathan Isaac's healthy, obviously.
Yeah.
At the 4, Franz Wagner.
There's just no choice.
I love Franz Wagner.
I like him too. This is a super young picture of him, by the way. He now has like a full beard and stuff.
And I agree with the Wendell Carter.
Yeah. You're not starting Robin Lopez.
But a lot of developing they need to do.
A lot. This team is like 3 years away.
Yeah.
And like this team is 3 years away and a scoring punch.
Yeah.
From being maybe in 3 years,
like,
3-4 years.
Jonathan Isaac was like one of my favorite. Like just off his like measurables and like his skill set. Really exciting, intriguing, but he just can't stay healthy.
No.
Back-to-back years with like a big knee injury.
Yeah, I think he tore his ACL twice.
Yeah, so it's like 6'11". I don't know if he's gonna have that mobility anymore. Like, is he a 5 now? Like.
Yeah, I don't know. I like his length defensively. Like this dude's every time you run Sims on 2K, like this dude ends up being like all NBA defender his entire career.
Franz would be nice off the ball as like wing defenders.
Oh,
like,
Jesus
just a lot
Christ.
of length.
It's a lot of length going from 2 to 5.
You still got Gary Harris too.
Oh yeah, you do got Gary Harris.
Yeah, I had
I knew I forgot something.
What's it called?
Yeah, I put in Gary Harris. I put Gary Harrison as a 2 above RJ.
They got a lot of guards, man.
They got a lot of guards. It's so weird.
I think one of them gets moved.
This is the same thing with Charlotte, where it's just like Charlotte and Atlanta, where you have so much talent. It's just hard to find
6
guys.
capable guards.
Yeah, it's just hard to put guys in here.
You got so many. You got to move Terrence and Gary to the 3.
It's hard because again, we're assuming Markelle probably will not be healthy, so that's why Cole's in the top. But let's assume they're healthy. Markelle starts, and then the rest stays the same, right? Off the bench,
I want to see Mo Bamba be the backup center. Like, I still feel like he has potential. And with the new coach,
I mean,
you got...
he has a song.
Yeah, I mean, they just hyped him up so much, you know?
It did.
He was top 5.
Well, Sheck West didn't help with that either.
That's true, but, I mean, they were saying he could shoot the 3 ball. I mean, but he really hasn't had the chance. I know he has something, he has, like, asthma or something. So, I mean, that's why he hasn't really... That's what they said. They say he has, like, asthma,
he has
bro.
asthma?
That's what they said. That's why he hasn't been playing much.
Oh, my God.
Or he was dealing with something.
Jesus.
But, I mean, Jamal Mosley, new coach there, he's really a player's coach. So, I hope he gives him some run. Obviously, Wendell's going to start.
I think this is one of those teams, they know they're nowhere near ready, and they know that they're probably going to be, like, top 10 pick next year in the lottery.
Which is a good thing.
Which is a good thing for them.
You add another piece to the young core.
Yeah, which you can get Chet, maybe, but then again, it's just like you're going to have to move Franz then.
I even like Chumo Kiki.
Chumo Kiki's nice.
Yeah.
I like Chuma.
Yeah.
I watched him in Auburn like 2 years ago. I remember him. He was nice. So, yeah, I think if Markelle stays healthy, you run him at the 1, and then the rest stay the same. For the bench, I think I like Cole Anthony. Cole Anthony had a really good was really nice last year. I didn't think he was going to be that nice because I just thought he just wasn't ready, but he proved me wrong. So he did great. Gary, I think, starts at the 2, and then R.J. Hampton. I like R.J. Hampton.
I think he gets moved again.
You think? Again?
Yeah.
They really like him over there in Orlando.
Yeah.
They really do like him. At the 3, you're going to run Terrence. Terrence is the human torch. You're going to run him. Mo and Chuma, I think you can flip-flop. It depends on the situation.
I got Chuma over Mo.
Yeah. It really depends on the situation. Obviously, Franz is so much better than Mo Wagner right now.
Yeah.
His brother.
That's tough.
Which is tough.
Your younger brother just getting drafted. He's already better than you.
Yeah, and he's most likely going to be starting too. So, and then at the 5, you probably have, again, Robin or Mo. You just switch. I mean, Robin, that skyhooks. You can't guard. You can't guard that. You can't block that.
One thing that's interesting, just looking at the way this line was constructed, like Jalen Suggs has a good chance of possibly winning Rookie of the Year just based off of they're going to be losing games a lot, and they're going to keep him out there because, I mean, the best way to adapt to the NBA is getting reps in.
Just playing.
If Jalen Suggs gets to average like 17 a night, like, hey, he might win Rookie of the Year.
Yeah. Yeah, this is one of these teams that's like, there's just so much. There's just so much because, like, all these names you either heard of last year that made a huge jump, or you're hearing them this year that they need to start, like Franz and Jalen.
And they still have some picks coming in from Chicago from the Vooch trade.
Right.
So.
And, like, again, they traded away Vucevic, Aaron Gordon, and Evan Fournier. They didn't really get much, but from what they could muster up, they got Jalen and Franz at least.
I don't think they're going to be winning in the next 2 years.
No, I think it's the third, fourth.
Definitely on the right track.
Yes.
Definitely on the right track. Like, everything is going according to plan.
Defensively, I like this team. Because Jalen has the ability.
A lot of versatility.
Yeah.
Like Isaac, I don't know if he can guard the 1s anymore, but 2 to 5.
Yeah. Jalen 1, 2.
Yeah,
Franz all 5.
Yeah.
And Wendell, I mean, can guard the 4.
He can get to wings too, maybe.
Yeah.
3 to 5.
Because Markelle comes back. Markelle is a pretty capable defender.
Yeah.
And he's long. So, I mean, that starting 5, like, defensively, it's really young, but there's promise there. And then you have playmaking in Jalen and Markelle. And Franz has shown in his college highlights that he's able to play make for other people. And the down screens that are going to come off are going to be amazing. Like, I could see a set where he comes off a down screen from Wendell and Jonathan, and then Wendell sets another screen for Jonathan.
Yeah.
Just like a two double staggered screen into a down screen. So that way you have 2 guys available, and then if that doesn't work out, you have Jalen who can create his own shot. He still needs to get the off the dribble shot, but it'll be there in like the last 7 seconds of the shot clock, and then Markelle can either have a dunk, give those 2 guys their shots, or lob it at Wendell. So there's a lot of promise here. again, there's just so many guys here that like we all know and that did well. And if Jamal Mosley is the players coach, then we might see all of these players on the court at some point in the season, considering they're losing. So we're going to see all these guys that you're seeing on the screen here.
Tanking won't really hurt them.
No, so. It'll help them more than anything. Let's see. What do you think? Well, I mean, what else can we say about this team? Like, who gets them? Like, first scoring option?
Jalen Suggs.
Has to be, right?
Yeah, especially if it's his team, man.
Now it's his team, especially if Markel's done.
I think it goes Jalen. There's not a lot of scores.
There's not a lot of scores. It's just like...
I mean, Jalen, I guess Markel if he's healthy. If he's not, Cole Anthony gets to put the ball in the hoop. Jonathan Isaac really isn't that type of player.
No.
I guess you got to go Franz.
Like, weirdly enough, they have a lot... This team is full of role players.
Yeah.
Like, Jalen Suggs, his floor is a role player, but his ceiling is really high.
Yeah.
But right now, he's just a role player, right? So... And Jonathan Isaac has always been a role player, 3-and-D. Franz, I don't know what his ceiling is, considering that we have seen 6'9".
A more athletic, mobile Gallo.
Yeah.
Which would be nice.
Which would be nice, but Gallo's has always been a role player. Wendell, role-playing, lob threat, can block a little.
If anyone gets moved in the next 2 to 3 years, I think it's Wendell.
Yeah. Which sucks, because I like Wendell. I liked him when the Bulls drafted him. The only true scorers is Terrence Ross and Cole Anthony. Those are the only ones that you can, and maybe Chuma Okeke, that you can trust to put the ball on the floor and get you a bucket in the mid-range anywhere.
And just hearing those names, that's a recipe for 18 wins.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, movement around here for this team, again, like we said earlier, I don't think they move anybody because there's just no point to.
Yeah, maybe they buy out Terrence Ross and let him go to a contender.
Yeah, that's the only thing. I like Terrence Ross on a contender. I always thought he would do better on a better, like the Clippers. I always thought could use him.
I think they might. I mean, that might be an option. Like, he's been with the franchise so long. We're going younger. He's older.
Yeah.
Let's give him a chance to go out there.
Because other than, he's the oldest guy here, I think.
Robin Lopez.
Robin Lopez.
Your 2 oldest guys are Terrence Ross and Robin Lopez.
Yeah, and everyone else
is under
26 and under.
Yeah, I think Mo Wagner's like 24 still.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, you're going the youth route. So, if somebody's to get moved, it would be Robin or Terrence in some deal. So, who knows what we can get out of it? Probably another young, 3 young pieces. Because Terrence Ross and Robin Lopez could be potential, like they could maybe do a deal with the Heat. Maybe. Like, Terrence Ross would be nice with the Heat.
Yeah, he would be.
Which is what we talked about in the last one. It would, like, that's what they need. They need scoring punch off the bench, so Terrence Ross could maybe find his way to Miami, which I like. I just don't know what's his salary. Because if the only thing that would uphold that trade would be salary, because if Terrence Ross has a big enough salary, then it won't work. And, like, the only people that I would say...
They got 12.5, but, I mean, he's on the 12.5, but, I mean, they did get, like, a trade exception from the Toronto deal.
Okay.
So you could always fit that into there.
So 12.5 and a trade exception for... If I'm working with Miami, I want Strus and...
I'm thinking he might just get bought out, man.
Yeah, because, I mean, like, even with Miami, it's like, all this time... You didn't trade Hero for Harden, but you're going to trade him for Terrence Ross. So, I don't think that's how it's going to work. But, I mean, Terrence Ross, I think, deserves to be on a contender. I really like him. Like, especially the Clippers. I always thought the Clippers could use him.
Yeah, I mean, he's solid. He averaged 15 last year.
Yeah, off the bench.
On 30 minutes.
His name is freaking Human. His nickname is Human Torch. Like, how can you not want him? But, I mean, what else is there to say about this team? They're very young. They're 3 years away.
Not much right now. I mean, maybe in 3 years we'll be talking about them as the breakout team.
Yeah, we'll see. It'll be, again, like, this is the fun part about all this GM stuff is, like, or, like, our YouTube stuff is the growth.
Yeah.
And so, like, it'll be fun to see like 3 years from now, like, damn, this was the magic
like,
depth chart 3 years ago.
Does Jonathan Isaac retire because of his knee?
Because of his knee,
who
yeah.
knows? I mean,
there are a lot of things that could happen. So,
but I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they become a playoff team in 3 to 4 years, but I also wouldn't be surprised if they're still in the same spot.
they're right now, they're in the same area as Cleveland, as, like,
Detroit's there right
Detroit's there. Who else is in the East right now? They're, I'd say, I was going to say the Pelicans, but no.
I mean, Charlotte's there too.
Charlotte's there. They're all in this, like, youth movement, but they're all taking steps in the right direction, and it's just, you have to be patient.
Yeah.
And just bank in the development of your young players.
I mean, not to get cliche, but trust the process.
Yeah, trust the process, man. It's just all four of those teams that we just named are in this spot, and it's just
I mean, at least they're not in a spot like New Orleans, where they have a bona fide
they're going backwards.
Like they got a bona fide star in Zion who's ready to bud.
Yeah.
Here, all these guys are young, not really household names yet. So.
Yeah, that's the good thing about those teams, that you got young players.
You're not in desperation mode like the Pelicans are.
Yeah, because the thing is, just like, let's say, I know you hate me bringing this up, but let's say if, like, Dallas and Luka were in the same predicament, like with the Zion thing, like, that'll be horrible.
Yeah.
That'll be horrible. But luckily enough, they're not. So Orlando, Cleveland, Orlando, Cleveland, Charlotte fans out there, all I have to do is just be patient. You understand that you have really good
and who knows, maybe the
players.
Who knows, maybe the ping pong balls fall the right way next year. You get like the second or first pick.
Yeah, maybe Adam Silver dents the card in the lottery. Like, who knows? So yeah, like, they're just all these players will find minutes at one point, either scrub or just rotation minutes. We'll see. What do you think Jalen Suggs accomplishes by the end of the year? Because I mean, at the end of the day,
he's gonna make a rookie team.
A rookie team?
Yeah, he's gonna average maybe 14.
Do you think he makes? Because there's it's just all rookie team, right? Is there all rookie defensive?
No.
No, that doesn't exist, right?
No, it's just 2 all rookie teams.
I think he'll make second.
Yeah. He might make the first.
He might make first.
Just off having a high usage rate here.
Do you think Franz will make second? Like,
it's tough. He might be a fringe guy.
What do you mean?
Like he'll be like on the bubble. Like, you know, there's like 10 spots. Like,
do you think he'll surprise people? I think he'll surprise people.
A lot of people are talking about him.
No.
I mean, his skill set. He's gonna get a house of highlights. Most people are like, oh, Franz Wagner.
Yeah, Franz Wagner. I really like him a lot. I think he'll surprise a lot of people. He might
blow up his second year.
I think he might be a second year player. So Jalen will probably average what, like, okay, I think this is mine.
20.
20?
You said, I thought you said 20. I thought you were going to 12.
I was going to say 12.
Oh, I said 14.
Yeah, I was like 12, 13, 4 assists, 5 boards. 14, 4, and 5. That's a pretty good rookie stat line.
I'll go 14, 6 assists, 3 boards.
Okay.
And a steal game.
Yeah, a steal game. I think a steal game. Franz, probably like same, 14, like 2 assists,
he's
and
gonna,
like 7 boards.
He's going to shoot like 38% from 3.
Oh, yeah. He's going to be lights out from 3. Yeah. He's going to be one of those 3-point shooters. He's going to be up there with Kispert for best rookie 3-point shooter. Well, that's what we should do. We should do like awards at the end of the season for rookie, like not just rookie of the year, but like we do like best rookie 3-point shooter, best all that. We'll keep that for later. That's not. You see that? We're coming up with content right on the video, right when we're doing content. So yeah, over under. Well, they finished 21 last year, so over under 20.
Under.
I think under 2.
More games.
Weirdly enough, they might be one of the worst teams in the NBA.
They're gonna go 18-64.
18-64. Like, they might be one of the worst teams in the NBA, but like, again, with every team we're gonna talk about, every single team is good. Somebody has to lose. So these teams that like you would think in like a non-regular year, like let's say like 2 years ago if this team existed, they could probably do 30 something. but just because every team is so good. Not 30? No? Oh,
25. Maybe.
Okay, 25, but it's in the range. And then but then now every team is so good. Every team is just so 2-3 player heavy. A team of role players like this, a team of youth role players will not work. So they might be the worst team in the NBA, but that doesn't mean that they're the worst team in the NBA.
The Cavs might be worse.
Yeah,
but they're gonna be tanking the Magic, but they're gonna get out tanked by the Cavs.
Just because that's just how it works. But please leave down in the comments again. What is your expectations for Jalen? Do you think he makes an all-rookie first team or second? What are your expectations for Franz Wagner? And do you think Orlando will be in the playoffs in 2 to 3 years or make noise in 2 to 3 years? So yeah, please leave your comments or your suggestions in the comment section. And then we're going to go on to our last team, which is the Washington Wizards, or what I like to call the Washington Redeem Team.
This is going to be fun.
This is a complete redemption team. If you look at all the teams here, all the players here, they were either traded or injured last year.
Yep.
Spencer Dinwiddie was injured.
Yep.
And he made a lot of noise saying, I should be worth a max, blah, blah, blah.
We'll see, man. ACL.
So, redemption.
I don't know.
KCP, I think he's angry that Kuzma did this to him. So, he's going to be angry. Beal, he's angry. He's always angry. He's going to be average 30 again. Rui, injured, redemption. Thomas Bryant, injured, redemption. Kispert, he's a rookie, but we'll see. Benny.
Davis Bertans was shit last year.
Yeah, shit. Latvian laser my ass. He redemption year. Denny, injured, redemption year. Kuzma, ultimate redemption year. Harrell, he's angry, redemption year.
He's been angry since he left the Clippers.
Yeah. Gafford was also injured, I think, but he's a solid player fighting for minutes now. So this is the Washington redemption team, and there's a lot of different ways you can go with this. A lot.
You want to hear my starting lineup?
Go ahead.
Spencer Dinwiddie.
Okay.
Brad Beal. Kyle Kuzma. I know Kuzma. We get carried away with the memes and the Shanghai. But not playing with LeBron might be the best thing.
Right.
In his career.
Because there's just no pressure.
Hey, don't be surprised if Kuzma averages 20 points.
Yeah.
He has the potential.
Yeah.
And I think people forget that because he's become such a joke and a meme.
Yeah.
Because he played in the biggest market, Los Angeles. There's always spotlights on you. But if he puts the fashion down, the
fashion's down, puts down the turtlenecks and everything.
If he tones that down a little bit, his PPG might go up.
I hope. Let's say Washington is in for a playing spot.
I think they might make a play. Yeah, they'll be 6-3. That's where I got him going.
As soon as he bleaches his hair, it's over.
Oh yeah,
they're done. They're not making a play. I'm sorry. Every time I call it every year. Every time he turns into Eminem, he's ass. Every single year. And he always does it in the latter half of the season for some weird reason. Always in the latter half. And it's just bro, your butt. Somebody leave in the comments a link. I've been asking for this since last year. Somebody put me a link in the comments.
Yeah, let me get his
when he's bleached, his stats, and when he's not.
Yeah.
I need it because I've been trying to do research.
That's a good case study right there.
That's a great case study. Yeah. So that way, and you send it to him, bombard him, so that way he never bleaches his hair. Washington fans, do it, please.
At the 4, Rui. And at the center, if Thomas Bryant, if he's ready to go, he'll start. But if he's not, obviously it's Montrez.
Yeah.
KCP, I got him coming off the bench. But he's not gonna be like a bench rotation. He's gonna get some run with the starters. He's gonna be playing 33 minutes a game.
Yeah.
That's what I see happening.
So yeah, this was another team I had a really hard time with. Just as you can see, because I consider Kuzma a 4. Because there's just I don't see him. I don't know. Because Dinwiddie, right, is obviously your starting guard.
That's going to be a hell of a scoring punch. Dinwiddie and Beal in that backcourt.
Yeah. That's going to be nice. That I have a lot of hope for. It's just the rest. So, Neto, Aaron Holiday. They've both been. I like Aaron Holiday a lot.
I got Aaron Holiday over
Raul.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different ways. I can come up with like 7 different lineups right now.
I really like Rui. I feel like Rui's gonna take a step up this year. Forward.
It still amazes me how similar him and Kawhi play.
I mean,
have you seen the side by sides?
I haven't.
They're so similar. Like they move exactly the same way. They almost shoot the same way.
He's a little taller too.
Yeah.
I like what I saw in the Olympics from Rui.
I like Rui.
6'8".
Yeah, and he's Japanese. I love Rui. So let's see. Let me come up with. We should do this by situation. So let's do scoring. If I want scoring, I'm leaving this lineup. I think how it is.
Okay.
But you can easily switch out KCP and Corey, depending if Corey ends up being like a complete rotation piece to where he gets enough shots up and reps in to where he can be a 35% or higher shooter. So then. And he's bigger than KCP.
Mm-hmm.
Kispert is 6'7", I believe, and he can defend. Like we saw in Gonzaga, he's able to switch 1 through 4.
I think he'll get like 18 to 20 minutes a night,
which is good. It's good enough.
Yeah.
So you can switch either KCP or Kispert. It depends. Beal obviously has to be on the floor. Rui has to be on the floor for scoring. I don't know.
You need him for defense.
Because you need him for defense. And then scoring, I keep Thomas Bryant. If we go size lineup, Spencer, Corey, Denny, Rui, and Harrell. Or Gafford. That's the size lineup. I think that if you want that, like, the biggest size you have, like, by +6, by height, by frame, I think that's the best lineup.
You going Thomas Bryant over?
I'm going Gafford
over
like Harrell or Bryant for size. I think Gafford provides more interior defense than both because people forget Harrell's only like 6'6", 6'7". Like he's a small center.
Yeah.
And then Thomas Bryant.
Thomas Bryant's a big boy.
He's a big boy, but he has no vertical threat. So I think Daniel Gafford fits that size lineup. Defensively, I don't know. Because Beal has always kind of like, is one of these guys where like, the defense doesn't matter. Like
I think defensively, if you want to go that, you go KCP, Beal, Kuzma, Hachimura, and then like a Gafford or Harrell.
Defensively? Oh, I like that.
Small ball 5 a little bit.
I like that. Shooting?
We ain't never seen Spencer Dinwiddie like as that guy. He's always been like the 6th man, the first like the guard, the scoring punch off the bench. So it's gonna be kind of how is he gonna integrate himself into like a starting lineup?
Yeah.
Because like those two roles play differently.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be the guy who initiates a little more. Because Bradley Beal, I mean, he's a scorer.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Shooting lineup. How would you go all shooting?
Dinwiddie, Beal, KCP, Kuzma. Who do you go at the 5? Do you put Rui, small ball 5? You can go Kispert.
I give Isaiah Todd minutes.
But then you could also put Kispert and Davison.
Yeah.
So
I think small lineup would benefit this lineup heavily.
I mean, Bertans can run the small ball 5.
Yeah, he can run the small ball 5. That's what I was gonna say. Bertans at the 5, Kuzma at the 4. Kuzma at the 3, Rui at the 4, Beal at the 1, and then you run Dinwiddie or Neto.
Is there a way you can get Kispert and Bertans? Also, like Kispert,
if you get them both on the same lineup, I think you would have to put Spencer and Denny on the floor. I don't think you could put Beal on the floor. Just because he would take away the touches, and I would want more playmaking around those two, considering they're coming off down screens and moving a lot. So I would keep.
How about Beal, KCP, Corey, Kuzma, Bertans?
That's a solid starting. That's a solid.
Like, you just let Beal do his thing, cook on the ISO. Everybody else can shoot.
Yeah.
I mean, Kuzma kind of put the ball on the floor. KCP, let him stand on the wing.
That's solid small ball. Like, there's a lot of ways you can go with this. That's why I had a hard time with that.
And then you can just flip guys in. Like, you want more defense? Okay, let's add Rui into this.
Yeah.
So.
they're gonna be kind of exciting. I mean, like,
I could see this going a whole other way too. Like they completely suck.
oh yeah,
They come out of the gate slow, and then Bradley Beal gets traded.
yeah,
I could like there's two ends of the spectrum, and they could hit both of them.
yeah, right. And like, it's very. Again, I had a hard time with this too. There are a lot. We just came up with like 7 lineups right now, and there are still way more combinations that you could do with this lineup. Again, Scott Brooks got fired, right? Or did he get extended?
I think it's Ime Udoka now.
Ime Udoka, right? So.
Is it? No, that's the Celtics.
Oh, that's Celtics. I thought Scott got fired, didn't he?
I think he did. Yeah.
So whoever the coach is right now.
Billy
Oh no, it's Wes Unseld. It's Wes Unseld.
Yeah,
It's Wes Unseld Jr. Yeah. I don't know how he is as a coach. Who was on the
first time coach?
Yeah, first time coach.
I think he's on the Nuggets.
Yeah. First time coach, which
I don't know what his rotations look like. I don't know what his play style looks like.
Yeah, so that's gonna be a question mark. I think it'll come down to coaching than it is more like coaching and lineups more than it is roster construction or like how we're evaluating them right now. I think it's just going to come down to coaching and what lineups work best, and they'll find that out like 30 games into the season. So I don't doubt if they go 10-20 in the first 30.
Would it be wrong to say that they got better? I'm just looking. I think that I like their pieces more this year than last year.
Yeah.
Like Dinwiddie's solid. He replaces Westbrook. KCP, he's probably gonna shoot better. He's not in that Laker jersey anymore.
You're right.
Bradley Beal. I mean, I know he gets snubbed for being an all-star, but he's legit a 30-point per game scorer. Hachimura, two-way star in the making. And then you got Kuzma, who he has that potential to be a 20-plus scorer. I mean, is it wrong to say that they got better?
Yeah.
I think they got better.
I think they got better, too. I mean,
no disrespect to Russ. I think the haul they got for him actually worked out in their favor here.
Yeah, it did. And obviously, like, at first glance, it's just like, oh, yeah, the Lakers won the trade. But
I mean, you kind of look into it, it's like, oh, it's not that.
It's not that one-sided. There's like, good pieces around Beal, basically, because that's all you want as Washington. You want to keep him happy. I mean, like, the dude's only 28, I think, 29. Yeah. So, like, you just want to keep him happy. We just want to keep him as happy as possible.
And the media's been trying to force Beal out of Washington,
which
for the last 2 years. So
I've been wanting him to get out of Washington too for so long. I think he could serve so much better on a better team. But right now, this is easily 6-7, right?
Yeah,
6-7 seed.
Yeah, floor is like 9-10 playing.
Yeah, and you got I like this team. Obviously, they're not going to get any national TV games. You're not going to hear from them unless Beal goes off for 60 again.
Yeah.
Or Kuzma goes off for 30. But other than that, like, you have solid pieces.
Yeah, like those lines we were mentioning, we didn't even bring up Denny. And Denny still has potential to be like a 6-8 floor general.
I'd like Denny. Yeah. I like Denny a lot. So, like, if you go like all play, you can go any way which way. All defense, all playmaking, all shooting, running gun. You can go size. You can go just scoring. You can go a lot of different ways with this lineup. It's just, again, the coaching. Like, we need. I don't think we've seen. Obviously, we haven't seen Wes Unseld Jr.'s.
It's tough for first-year coaches just to come in and like win 50 games and go to the playoffs.
It's always tough unless you're Steve Kerr. But then again, he had
Luke Walton did pretty good with those guys.
Yeah. So I mean, like it all depends, I think, on.
But 5 through 8 in the East is like there's a lot of like it's fluid, you know.
It is very
like
fluid.
Indiana. Who else is there? Washington could be there. A lot of teams could be there. Yeah. See, I'm trying to think of other teams. So like New York's there.
Yeah. Who else is there now?
Well, the set in stone teams, I think it's going to be Brooklyn, Milwaukee, Philadelphia. Well, I don't know.
If they lose Ben Simmons, who knows?
Yeah. Philadelphia, Milwaukee, Atlanta.
Well, speaking of Ben Simmons, let's just get over it with now. There are talks that apparently he might get moved to Golden State, but Daryl Morey's asking for Steph Curry or Klay Thompson in return. That's stupid.
Daryl Morey should just ask for Wiggins, Kuminga,
and Moody.
Yeah, and just take what you're not getting Klay Thompson.
You're not getting either of those guys. Like, okay, you're an okay GM.
Ask for Wiseman too, but as for an established guy like Klay and Steph, you're crazy.
Daryl Morey is an okay GM, but that's ridiculous. Like, I could have trade. Like forced trade on freaking 2K.
I think Sacramento. They asked Sacramento for De'Aaron Fox,
which is enough. I think De'Aaron Fox is enough.
I don't know.
Like 1 for 1.
Nah, I wouldn't.
Boom.
If I'm Sacramento, I wouldn't.
I mean, yeah, if you were Sacramento, you wouldn't. But like on a 1-on-1, just that's fine for me. That's fine for me, honestly.
No, I think they wanted like De'Aaron, Bagley.
That's too. I mean,
Buddy Hield still there?
Yeah, but
that's
like. From third person perspective, that looks fine. But like, if you're Sacramento, you're not doing that.
I was trying to figure out when the Nats to get him without giving him KP.
Who? We'll get Ben Simmons.
Yeah,
like, oh, you have to go.
I mean, there was.
They're probably fucking so diluted.
It was like we can give like 2 first picks, like a Josh Green, a Tyrell Terry, and like Tim Hardaway.
Daryl Morey is so diluted. He'll ask for Luka. He's so diluted right now
because like KP and Luka.
I don't understand. He has no leverage. He
could add Harden, man.
Yeah, Ben Simmons does not want to be there.
Yeah,
so you lost your leverage.
His coach and his co-star, literally after they lost, they said, I think we lost a game when we passed up on a free 2 instead of. And then Doc Rivers says, at this point, I don't know if we could win with Ben. It's like, I wouldn't want to play for you either.
Yeah, like, I'm not going to be here. And Joel is trying to save himself on Twitter now, saying that, like, people are trying to twist the story, blah, blah, blah. You know what you meant. You have been Joel Embiid for the past 4 years. Like, you know what you meant by saying that. Everybody knew what you meant by saying that. Yeah. And obviously that's what happened. You lost the game because he decided to pass the layup. And he did not attempt 3. He only attempted a total of like 3-4 shots in
fourth quarters.
In 5 fourth quarters. Like that's ridiculous. So we're going a bit off track here, but it's just a little angering for me. But Wizards, good young team, good enough to make play-in. Just on Bradley Beal.
Yeah.
If Bradley Beal was not here, this is not a play-in team.
No, definitely not.
But just because Bradley Beal is here, this is definitely a playing team. There are like 7-8 different lineups, and I think it just comes down to coaching.
I got him winning 45+ games.
Yeah, that seems right.
So,
that feels right.
I think Kuzma's going to surprise some people.
Yeah.
And get some credibility back.
Yeah. Do you think somebody gets moved, or do you think this is the same roster we see at the end of the year?
Ideally, I think I see KCP getting moved. Maybe like they want to try something. They want to get Kispert into the lineup. They trade KCP to the contender for maybe a pick.
Yeah, I think they do make a move because like as we saw with what was the team? As we saw with Charlotte. Mm-hmm. Oh no, the Magic. Where they have a lot of good young players, and it's hard to find rotation minutes, so that you just have to make a move by getting rid of veterans and having them.
I mean, I think they want to make a run at the playoffs and like prove people wrong.
Yeah, if they want to make a run in the playoffs, if they look at this like we're doing right now, and see it's like yes, we can definitely make the playoffs just by schedule and everything. You're keeping KCP. Yeah. But if you understand that at some point halfway through the season you're like, no, then KCP probably is the first domino that falls. And again, like every single year for the past like 3 years, there's always going to be Beal talks.
If they come out and they're like 5-15, or they're like 10 games under 500 by the deadline, Bradley Beal's out of there.
Yeah.
So,
but
I think this is like the year. Like I could say that if they suck, Bradley Beal's gone.
I hope so. I really do because like I can't have him there.
We were close last year.
Yeah.
But I think this is the year. Like if they're not good, he's out of there.
I can't have him sucking anymore, dude.
And they could package Beal and someone else, like Kuzma, and get a haul.
Yeah. So. And then, like, as we saw with the additions, there's all these 5 guys here, and, like, they could also report. Again, they're all in different jerseys because this literally what this team is. It's just, like, all traded guys or injured guys, so it's just a redemption team. And then they lost Westbrook for basically all these guys. So, I mean... Leave in the comments if you who won the trade in your opinion after seeing us go through this in-depth roster evaluation and team evaluation.
The Lakers win it, but it's not far. Like it's not as lopsided as people think. Like
Right.
it's
I would say
super
that, yeah.
close. Like it's super close to being equal than lopsided.
I think you just have to see, like, I think the best way to compare it would be if the Lakers win the chip this year, then they won the trade.
Yeah.
If the Wizards in 2 years are better than the Lakers, then they won that trade. Because the Lakers, people are forgetting this. The Lakers also have a 2-year window.
Yeah.
LeBron's not getting any younger.
He'll be 39 in a couple years.
Right. Anthony Davis is freaking in a 39-year-old body. And Westbrook's not getting... is 34. I think will turn 34 this year.
Yeah, he's 33 right now, I think.
And so, with a huge contract...
Carmelo's on his way out.
Carmelo's on his way... It's a retirement home.
I mean, the young core is THT and Malik Monk and them.
Yeah, and Kendrick Nunn. So...
I can't wait to get to that episode.
Oh, yeah.
I'll let out my frustrations.
Yeah, we will. So, yeah. Please comment as to what are your expectations for the Washington Wizards. Again, do you think Kuzma has a redemption year? Because I know there are a lot of Kuzma people out there. So yeah, please leave in the comments. Again, please, I want to say thank you for all those that watched our Detroit Pistons episode, our Bucks episode, our Bulls episode, our Cavs episode, and the Pacers episode, because all those views mean a lot towards us. That just goes to show that our opinion really does matter to people, and it'll continue to help us and make more of these. So again, please keep watching. Please keep subscribing. It's the subscribers. Please
subscribe. 50. We want 50.
Yeah, we want 50 by the end of this month. Please. So yeah, as these videos goes up, please make sure to scroll down, click the big red button, and turn noties on so that way you get notified every time a video goes live. So yeah, thank you so much.